Is it back? Oh dear. Is it back? Are we back? Nope. I'm now live. I can't. Hold on. Let me refresh my thing. Oh, the stream just fully ended. Cool. I think we're back. At the moment, you are tantamount to a knight without a sword. We're back. Yay! That's gonna be 2 separate VODs I gotta upload. Cool. Damn internet. I feel more like an attorney without a chance, actually.
Right then, Mr. Wright. I'll explain how the Grand Grimoire works.
Ooh, a new mechanic.
Have a look at the touchscreen. There you'll see the Grand Grimoire button.
The Grand Grimoire button. I want to read it. Ignace. Inferno spell. Summons a circle of flame within a 1 meter radius of the caster. Requires an incantation and scepter to cast. Okay, so she didn't have a scepter. Cool. That's it? It's the only page I get to read? Then she totally said Ignace in the cutscene, by the way, so unless it's false memory. She definitely said it. She was trying to burn those guys.
Have a look at the Grand Grimoire button. Touching the Grand Grimoire button will open up the Grand Grimoire.
Where'd Luke go? You'll be able to present spells from the Grand Grimoire in much the same way you would present evidence. This book will surely be a most important asset for us in this trial.
Oh, that reminds me. I've gone ahead and bookmarked the spell Ignace for you.
The spell Ignace has been bookmarked in the Grand Grimoire. Oh, there's Maya.
Ignace? That's the magic spell all the witnesses said they heard, right? Nick, you should take a look at that spell.
I did. I got it. All I have to do is touch the Grand Grimoire button, huh? The defender has been given more than enough time. It would seem this trial has reached its end. Is that understood, Sir Apprentice Baker? This case is quite straightforward, with very little room for doubt. The witness's testimony, coupled with the illustration of the time of the murder, makes it quite clear what must have occurred. This murder was the result of magic. And furthermore, the caster of said magic was none other than the accused. That, Sir Apprentice Baker, is the truth. Best you go back to baking, for I believe your days in the courtroom have crumbled. Is everything okay, Mr. Wright? Yes. It would seem that the photographs do not exist in this world. Photos don't exist? I guess that makes sense. Ye old time period and all. The sketch drawn by the court illustrator. Therein lies your final chance, Mr. Wright. My final chance? I understood the witnesses have already finished their testimony. However, if you could perhaps find a clear contradiction within this illustration. There's another contradiction? In that case, there's still hope that I can turn this around.
Mr. Wright, you have to hurry! Look, the judge. He looks ready to deliver his verdict at any second now.
This is it. This is my last chance. What should I do? Give up! Yeah, give up.
Hold it!
1 second, Your Honor. The defense requests permission to have another look at the court illustration. I think there might be a contradiction in there.
Objection!
You are already out of time. All testimony evidence given thus far has been proven to be accurate. No, it has not. No, it's not. I wouldn't be so sure, Inquisitor Barnum. The Grand Grimoire? Absurd. I overlooked something? You are the defender here. You should have examined the tome earlier, brother. You're right. I should have. But unfortunately, I was nothing but a simple baker until just now. Interesting. Are you no longer a baker? You've certainly begun to show your true colors, Sir Blue Knight. Oh! I like Sir Blue Knight better than the other one. Let us see what type of knight you truly are. Have at you! The defender will now show us this supposed contradiction. The court illustration and the Grand Grimoire. Somewhere there's a contradiction between those two, and I've got to find it. This is my last chance. Defender, use this magnifying glass to locate the point of relevance. Then reveal to the court the location of this contradiction. Okay, I'm assuming it's that she doesn't have a scepter. But would it be like the fact that she's holding a milk pail?
Got it.
The contradiction is here. The hand of the accused? Okay, we got it. She appears to be holding a milk bucket. Yes, but that milk bucket was said to have vanished from the crime scene. It's quite possible there's an important reason behind its disappearance. Inquisitor Barnum, what are your thoughts on this? It is quite mysterious indeed, my lord. However, the Inquisition believes it bears no relation to this case. Forest wolves simply came and stole the bucket. Nothing more. Let us not dwell on the milk bucket for the time being, Mr. Wright. Rather, we should first consider any information within the Grand Grimoire that might lead us to a contradiction. Yeah, that's why I did it. Or a new piece of evidence. Maybe I should have another look at it? I just have to touch the Grand Grimoire button. Yeah. That's what I'm doing. My apologies, Your Honor. Please give me one more chance. Was that not it? Granted, but be warned, you're running out of chances, Defender. The Defender will now show us the supposed contradiction. I thought it was that! I thought it was the fact she doesn't have a scepter. Is it this hand, then?
Got it.
The contradiction is right here. The hand of the accused. She seems to be holding a lantern. What is your point? According to this tome, using the spell Ignace requires the use of a witch's scepter as well as an incantation. Isn't that right? Correct. For witches to use magic, they must be in possession of a witch's scepter, also known as Italia Magica. If that's the case, then there's one thing that doesn't add up. Take another look at Miss Cantabella's hands. Tell me, do you see the witch's scepter in either of her hands? Which is why the other hand should have counted. It should have counted. It was the same point. I wasn't talking about the milk bucket, I was talking about the fact that she had no scepter in her hand. There we go. Let's see you point that sword at me now. He points the sword out.
You did it, Mr. Wright. But wasn't that contradiction just a little too obvious?
You're the one that brought me the Grand Grimoire and told me to be me, whatever. You may be right, Luke. It would certainly appear that the good Inquisitor is taking this particular oversight rather too well. That is correct, Sir Apprentice Baker. but you should not underestimate me. This is perhaps your first time seeing this item, is it not? Right here is the very scepter you mentioned. Okay, she was not holding it. She was not holding it. One of the witnesses found it tossed in the shrubbery on the side of the path. It's not in the illustration. Yes, indeed. That was I located it. My feet found themselves ensnared in the blasted thing, and it sent me flying through the air. Somehow, I'm not surprised to hear you fell, Gramps. This scepter does seem to carry a most sinister air. Indeed, my lord. However, this scepter will only work while in the hands of a witch, with the incantation being said aloud.
Oh, that's too bad. I wanted to try lighting some stuff on fire.
The shrubbery was given to our local knights by a very peculiar king. Please, don't look at me when you say that. You see, there are 2 magic gems set in the scepter. Magic gems? Looks like a red gem and a white gem. These gems each contain a particular magic spell. By simply looking at these magic gems, one can easily determine which magic spell can be used. You seem to know a lot about this, Inquisitor. Are you the witch?
Nick, quick, look at this page.
Okay. Summons a circle of flame within a 1 meter radius of the caster. Requires an incantation and scepter to cast. And yeah, there's the gem. Is that the red magic gem? Indeed, the red gem you see here is the spell Ignace. And if you look carefully, you should notice that the scepter also has 1 more spell that can be used. 1 more spell? That must be the white gem. Which spell is it?
Mr. Wright, I found it. Here's the spell for the white magic gem.
Okay. Demir. Vanishing spell. Causes anything the caster touches to vanish from sight. Simply chant a mirror to make it reappear. Okay, so is that what happened to the milk bucket? Did it just vanish? Is one of the witnesses gonna be holding the the milk bucket? Causes anything the caster touches to vanish from sight. Ugh. I see you managed to work it out in that crusty head of yours. That's just... it can't be. The reason the witch's scepter couldn't be seen is because the magic spell Demir had made it disappear. Oh. That's the argument. That's a good argument. That's right. In other words... Oops. The accused conjured a cowardly spell to camouflage her own use of magic. Then how did it reappear? Who said the spell for it to reappear, No. No way. Order, order, order. Inquisitor Bonham, please submit the scepter into evidence.
Objection!
Hold on, please. Is there a problem, Sir Baker? Okay, I understand this is a witch's scepter. However, whether or not the scepter was in Miss Cantabelle's possession has not yet been proven. What are you talking about, Sir Apprentice Baker? Isn't it obvious? I'm talking about fingerprints. Supposing Miss Cantabella did in fact handle the witch's scepter, then her fingerprints should still be on it. I'm guessing they don't have that technology. What's with this silence? You said fingerprints? In court? Inquisitor Barnum, tell me, just what is this baker blabbering about? I haven't the slightest clue, my lord. It is the baker's first time in court, after all. Huh? I'm afraid it's no use, Mr. Wright. In this world, it would seem the concept of fingerprinting does not yet exist. What? I can't believe it. Because of course it doesn't. Okay, so that proves her fingerprints are not on it. They wouldn't have that little plot line if it wasn't that fact. As I have said already, best you head back to the bakery lest you continue to serve this court more of your half-baked ideas. Excuse you? My ideas are never half-baked, they're always full-baked. I'm an ace baker. They're about as half-baked as your terrible puns, Barnum. Forensic science does not exist here. Instead, this is a world in which witches and magic are accepted as fact. Truly fascinating. Thanks, Layton. A magic scepter needed to cast spells. The available spells depend on the magic gems. Oh, in other news, I got my tickets for the Hadestown Pro Shot. On one hand, I live close enough to New York City that I can go see it live, but on the other hand, seeing musicals on Broadway with any form of claim. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But that's awesome! I want to see the Hadestown Pro Shot so bad. What the heck? There are just way too many things I don't know about this world. Mr. Wright, I believe you may be able to take these things you don't know and use them to your advantage. Huh? The Inquisition believes there is no room for debate on this matter. The accused clearly attempted to conceal her magic. Better luck next time, Sir Apprentice. Mayhap your next loaf will not leave such a bitter taste in our mouths. Now then, my lord, I believe it is time. I ask that you render your unwavering verdict.
Objection.
What the? Oh, that was Layton. I was like, who is that? Let's go! Pardon the interruption. May I have a word, Inquisitor Barnum? Yeah, I'm like a 45-minute drive ignoring traffic, so I had like another 30 to 45 obviously from Manhattan. Ah, cool! What's that? Who might you be? My name is Professor Layton. I'm a friend of the accused. Inquisitor Barnum, please allow me to confirm what you believe happened on the night of the crime. You claim the witch's scepter was made to disappear through the use of magic. Is that correct? Indeed. Through the magic spell Dimir. If possible, would you mind providing proof of this particular claim? Damn, Layton's doing a better job than you were at your own job, Phoenix. He's overthrowing you in your own game. And you suck at his riddles, so you're not taking over him. What? You claim the scepter was not seen. Indeed, that is one possibility. However, a wise man must always consider every possibility. Who is this guy? What say you, Inquisitor Barnum? Can the Inquisition fulfill the request presented by the gentleman with the unusual hat? His hat's not that unusual. He's got a pretty normal hat. It's the rest of him that looks weird. Like his dot eyes. The Inquisition cannot honor this request for proof. I will stab myself now. If you are asserting that the accused is not a witch, then the burden of proof lies at the feet of the defender. No, it doesn't! Burden of proof is on the prosecution! Come on, it's the Okay! Hold on! Hold on! Come on, it's the Inquisitor's job to prove that a crime was committed. Yes! Yes, it is the prosecution's job to prove that a crime was committed. But no, has that ever happened in any of these games? It's always been on the defense attorney to provide the burden of proof. So he acknowledges that their court system is not running as it should be. Cause, my god. As I thought, indeed it would appear that the accepted method of thinking in this world differs greatly from our own. No, not really, actually. Not actually, that much, Layton. Maybe for you. Maybe in your world. But in the Ace Attorney universe, the prosecution barely have a job. Okay? They just kind of show up to court and go, he's guilty, she's guilty. And the judge is like, yeah, okay. Defense? Where's your proof she isn't? Where's your proof he isn't? Like... How regrettable, Sir Apprentice Baker. And you, Sir Dark Hat. Ooh, that's a cool name. Sir Dark Hat. Oh my god! Inquisitor Barnum, sir, should you require it, I stand ready to lend my testimony.
Would anyone care to purchase any pre-testimony flowers? I've got a lovely array of bewitching lilies.
Oh, she's a witch. She's a witch.
Snowy and I will not be dismissed so easily. We came here to expose the identity of this witch. Isn't that right, Precious?
Oh, witch's scepter, you say? Yes, I know of such a scepter. Allow me to elucidate the matter. What do you think, Inquisitor Barnum? Your witnesses appear to have something to say on the subject. Damn it. Very well. Most honorable witnesses, I grant your request to testify once more. Tell the court all you know regarding this Talia Magica. Well, we've somehow managed to keep the trial going. I owe you one, Sir Dark Hat. Please, Mr. Wright. Mr. Layton will suffice for the time being. Oh good, you can read my mind too.
Virginie's testimony.
About Talia Magica. When I saw her, the witch was carrying a large milk bucket in one hand and a lantern in the other.
The girl had the lantern hanging from her wrist. Her hand was contorted in a strange way.
That's fair. Do we have the illustration? No. Oh, details. Ooh. There's like, ooh, it's like a cool like snake thing. Stabby. That stabbed someone for sure. Okay, so it's two snakes. That's pretty cool. And the Grimoire. Cool.
I got a good look at her hand, and it looked for certain that she was gripping something.
The witch was holding a scepter in her right hand. She did not drop it once before she was apprehended. But then, if she didn't... Whatever. I see. The accused's hands was contorted in a strange way. If she didn't drop it once, then... Let me read that. Causes anything the caster touches to vanish from sight. Anything the caster touches. The milk bucket did disappear. Simply chant a mirror to make it Never mind. I see. The accused's hand was contorted in a strange way. I do believe this is quite an important piece of testimony.
I saw it. I most certainly saw it. She was holding an invisible scepter. He saw it too. It was the girl up there, without a doubt.
I as well. These old eyes don't see as well as they once did, but I once witnessed the hazy, blurry form of the accused quite clearly. Nice. Cool. Don't tell the court you're blind. My eyesight is as sharp as the edge of my trusty blade. A toy sword. Okay, it is a toy sword. I thought so. How fascinating. Although I wonder if he understands the implications of that analogy on his vision. Sir Baker, you may proceed with your interrogation. Mr. Layton's given me another chance. I can't let it go to waste.
Oh, Matt! Thank you for the sub! Burn the witch, yeah.
No! No burning the witch! Defend the witch! I saw her, the witch was carrying a large milk bucket in one hand and a lantern in the other.
Hold it!
The large lantern you mentioned is this one, correct? There is no mistaking that fiendishly fiendish form with its case darker than the darkest of nights. That was the lantern. It's just the normal lantern. What is this? It would seem the glass is shattered. Did she drop it? And there seems to be a sizable amount of mud stuck to it. Well, of course she dropped it. We saw it in the cutscene where she killed those guys. On closer inspection, it appears mud has stuck to the broken sections of glass. Most intriguing.
So then, when exactly did the lantern get mud all over it?
By the way, witness, you also saw a milk bucket, is that right? Indeed. I would bet my sword on it.
Oh, hey! Thank you for the gifted sub scenario!
She's a witch!
Aw.
That's hilarious. Goated gift. Amazing. Thank you so much. Indeed, I would bet my sword on it. And yet that milk bucket mysteriously vanished from the scene of the crime. Mysteriously. How many times must I say it, Sir Apprentice Baker? The problem is the Black Lantern. Okay.
The girl had the lantern hanging from her wrist. Her hand was contorted in a strange way.
Hold it!
She had the lantern hanging from her wrist. Are you sure? Yeah, it's in the illustration.
Of course we're sure.
Oh, there's the fire behind her.
If that wasn't it, then how else would the girl manage to hold her invisible scepter?
Maybe she just didn't have one. Ma'am, please, just testify about what you actually saw.
We just said that's what we saw. Isn't that right, Snowy?
Indeed. A handle as wide as this could be easily hung from the accused's small wrist.
Yes, that's right. That's what we are telling you. Isn't that right, Mummy's little snowball?
Okay. It's no good. They're all bent on assuming Espella was holding that scepter. It seems it may be best not to pursue this particular line of questioning any further. Well, that's just super.
Super. Got a good look at her head and looked for certain that she was gripping something.
Hold it!
What exactly was the defendant gripping?
An invisible scepter! It was... That's right. It was something cane-like. What was it called? A witch's scepter? Yes, it was definitely that.
Objection!
Whoa, whoa. Wait, Miss Kira, you didn't actually see it, did you? Witness. This cane-like object, was it perhaps roughly the size?
Oh, why, yes. It was exactly that size.
It's no good. They're all bent on assuming Espella was holding that scepter. It seems... Yeah. Okay. The witch was holding a scepter in her right hand. She did not drop it once before she was apprehended. Okay, if she didn't drop it once, then how did she drop the lantern that was in the same hand on her wrist? It could not have fallen off. That's not logical!
Objection!
There is a high probability that Miss Cantabella was not holding the scepter. But if, for the sake of argument, she had been holding it, she would undoubtedly have dropped it at the time of the incident. What do you mean? What I mean, Inquisitor Bardem, is that this lantern proves the defendant was not holding the scepter.
Objection!
What foolishness are you spouting, Sir Apprentice Baker? The lantern's handle was around the accused's wrist.
Objection!
Objection.
Objection!
Meaning she could have held the scepter? I'm afraid that's not the problem here, Inquisitor Barnum. The problem is with the broken glass, and the mud plastered all over it. What? The rain had ended just as the murder was taking place. That would make the path fairly muddy, don't you agree? Also, yeah, okay, I wanted to look at this photo again. Her hand really does not look like it would be holding a scepter. Like, I get, like, her hand's, like, it looked like she could possibly be gripping something, but the way it's angled, like, it's a weird way. When the thieves grabbed Miss Cantabella by the arm, the lantern must have fallen into the mud. The lantern fell into the mud.
Why, of course. That makes sense, doesn't it, my little snowy wowie?
Well, what do you say, Inquisitor Barnum? If she was holding the scepter at the time, that would mean that when she dropped the lantern, the scepter would have fallen along with it. What's going on? Inquisitor Barnum seems speechless.
That defender's managed to turn the thing around, even though he's just some baker.
No way. Pay the witch's accomplice no heed. They're just trying to trick you. Okay. What is this?
Hold it!
Oh.
One moment, please. Everyone, please listen. Didn't we all just stand here and explain to the court what we clearly saw? It's a lantern, so what? What's so special about it?
She's acting guilty.
Explain it to me so I can understand.
If she's actually the killer, I'm gonna lose it. Because I totally just called her the killer as a joke in the beginning. So that you can understand? Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious just by looking at it. Mr. Wright. What is it, Mr. Layton? There is something about this witness. No way! Miss Kira, was it? Tell me, Miss Kira. How good is your eyesight exactly? Oh, I thought he was gonna call her out as the killer. You did this, didn't you? You murderer. Huh? As you just heard Mr. Wright explain, the answer to your query is quite obvious at a glance. Tell me, are you able to see the mud present on this lantern? How many fingers am I holding up?
Mud? What mud? What are you talking about?
Oh, Kira. Let the record state that Mr. Layton is holding up 2 fingers. Your Honor, did you hear that just now? Yes, indeed. What does it mean exactly? It means that Miss Kira's poor eyesight is the reason she cannot see the mud present on this lantern. I relate very heavily to that. As someone who is also very blind, My Cousin Vinny really is an excellent movie. Hey! Hey! Professor Layton, desk slam and finger point. Let's go. In other words, the validity of Miss Kira's testimony is questionable at best. Yeah, I'm utterly blind without my glasses. Order in the court. What is the meaning of this? I mean, she's unreliable. Get her off the stand. What say you in your defense, witness? I highly recommend you give us nothing but the truth. The whole truth and nothing but it.
I'm sorry, Inquisitor Barnum. It's true. I need to wear glasses. All the time, in fact.
You need to wear glasses? He's British. Shouldn't he be saying order? Order.
Oh, now that you'd mention it, I did notice something odd about you today.
Oh, I thought you looked familiar. Gone is the mist that clouded my mind. In its place, clarity. A fair maiden and a pair of spectacles are as valuable as a shield to a knight. Make haste and procure another pair. Now then, Miss Kira, tell me, at the time of the incident, were you wearing your glasses?
No. No, I was not wearing them. The truth is, I lost my glasses a couple of days ago.
You lost them? So her glasses were missing during the time of the incident. Mr. Wright, might I recommend that you keep note of this fact? It could prove useful later. Why? Got it. Kira has poor eyesight and wears glasses, but she lost them a few days before the incident. Am I to believe there is nothing left to prove on this matter? At the time of the murder, the accused did not have a witch's scepter in her possession.
Why, just a moment. Snowy and I have much more to say.
That's right, my trusty sword of justice shall cut through this witch's treacherous lies.
I may have lost my glasses, but I haven't lost my will to testify.
No, but you lost your right to testify for both lying under oath and also not being a witness if you're that blind. Oh, Rika, I remember now. Old age has a way of sneaking up on me. I'm sure you must understand. Yeah, I understand. I understand. You're all completely ridiculous. Nah, it's been weirder. It would seem we have not yet arrived at a clear-cut verdict. Witnesses, you may once again begin to testify to the court. Tell us about the scepter and how it was used in the detestable display of witchcraft that you all witnessed tonight. The girl was not holding the scepter in the same hand as the lantern, which means it must have been in her other hand. No! That's just... No, she was holding a milk bucket.
The accused is holding a milk bucket in the court illustration. Who's to say she wasn't also holding a scepter in that hand?
Because she's gripping the milk
That milk bucket is lighter than it looks. Even Snowy could carry it, so she could have easily held the scepter as well.
Okay. That's weird. How do you know how light it was? Well, I guess you probably got it from her, so never mind. I'll still press that anyway. Oh, I did not see this milk bucket. Everything felt like an illusion. Okay, he's not helpful. The scepter was in her other hand, you say? Indeed, such a proposal is feasible. It's not. It's not. In the court illustration, she's gripping that milk bucket. Sir Baker. Yes, Your Honor? It is the strangest thing. The longer this trial goes on, the more you begin to resemble a legitimate defender. That's what my badge is for. Huh? Well, no matter. Defender, you may begin your interrogation. Cool. Okay, no.
Hold it!
But did you actually see that with your own eyes? Alas, magic's violent embrace had the scepter from my side, so I did not see it per se. However, through my years of knightly training, I have learned to see through such cunning trickery. Is that so? For example, this morning I found myself unable to locate the whereabouts of my trusty blade. Its location was a mystery. So I tried my hardest to think and remember where I would have kept it last, and before long. Behold! It transpired I was carrying my trusty blade in its scabbard all along. Life is riddled with such trickery.
Would you say life is riddled with trickery, Nick?
Only if we're talking about my life, Maya. Yeah, that was not helpful. Okay, you're just not helpful at all.
Hold it!
In just 1 second, Miss Mary.
Well, what is it now? Snowy and I don't have all night, you know. Come on then, out with it.
I just have one question regarding your testimony. How exactly did you know that the milk bucket Miss Cantabella was carrying was light enough for Snowy to carry? That's... I did say that.
Oh, I will. You see, the girl always uses the same bucket whenever she comes to buy milk from us. Naturally, I would have seen that bucket countless times before.
Would have seen or have seen? I don't like the wording of would have seen. You've seen it countless times before. No, she said she would have seen it countless times before. That doesn't answer my question. Specifically said the bucket is lighter than it looks. Miss Mary, at some point tonight you must have held that bucket yourself. To be fair to Mary, she could have held it on other nights. If like, Spella is a frequent visitor. I mean, I guess I see, like, there's, like, it's contradicting. She grabbed the button or whatever, the bucket or whatever, but this is a pretty weak argument, Phoenix, I'm not gonna lie. Who's to say she did it tonight? Whoop. Like, I'm sure she did. I'm sure she's 100% guilty and grabbed that bucket, but... Now then, please enlighten us as to exactly when you got your hands on the bucket.
It's true. By that time, Rob's mug had already been burnt to ash.
Okay. So you took the bucket.
And then I noticed the milk in that bucket that the girl had been holding in her hand.
The milk?
Then when those two went up in a blaze, Snowy and I made a dash for the bucket.
See, two guys get burned alive, and her first thought is, let's get that bucket of milk. Honestly, iconic. I love that.
As the girl stood there looking confused, we took the milk from her to make sure it was okay.
It's nuts. Nuts. Insane. Insane behavior. She sees two guys burned alive. She assumes it was a witch who did it. And her first thought is, let me run up to the supposed witch and make sure her milk bucket's okay. Is insane. Huh? Unbelievable. Witness, you.
Well, it was so wasteful, the thought of all that disgusting ash falling into such precious milk. I felt I just had to protect the milk, so I took the bucket back to the farm with me.
Madam, do you mean to tell the court that you took evidence from a crime scene back home with you? That explains why we were unable to locate the milk bucket at the scene.
Oh, my. You're scabbing poor Snowy. Here. I brought the bucket with me anyway. See, I didn't even tamper with the milk.
So, okay, so she has the milk bucket. Okay. I'm sure you didn't. The court shall accept this milk bucket as evidence. The milk bucket Espella was carrying at the scene of the crime. Mary brought it back to her farm. Looks like that's one more piece of evidence for us. Now, will the gentleman with the impressive beard proceed with his testimony? That is a pretty impressive beard. Did not see this milk bucket. Everything felt like an illusion. Well, let me go back. The girl was not holding the scepter in the hand, which means it must have been in her other hand. Let me look at this. Oh, I can't look at it. The milk bucket Espella was carrying at the time. Mary brought it back to her farm. Let me finish pressing then.
Hold it!
You didn't see the bucket. Indeed, naturally there's no way of me noticing the witch before the crime occurred. My mind was placid as the most placid of placid lakes. But like the early bird on its morning hunt for the elusive worm, my senses remained vigilant. You do realize the other witnesses have all testified to having seen Miss Cantabella carrying that bucket, though? And when you have journeyed as far as I have through life, you find as all is but an illusion. That is except for Lord Storyteller, of course. Okay. That's it for the testimony. Still, something is bound to be there. I can't believe Mary took the bucket home with her.
Miss Mary must be one of those thieving forest wolves we've been hearing about.
Let's hope she doesn't eat like a wolf as well, Luke. For her Snowy's sake. I've got this new piece of evidence, but the question is, how can I use it?
You know, looking at this milk bucket now, it does look sort of
different from the sketch, don't you think? Does it? I wish we could see the sketch. Might be a good idea to get a nice good look at the actual milk bucket. I can't! There's no looking at it. I wish I could see the sketch again. I think the sketch had like a... I'm trying to picture it in my mind. Yeah, it's definitely different. I think it had like a... It wrote. It's a different way of holding it. Okay, I think we presented on him. There's even less room for her to hold a scepter with holding it like that.
Objection!
All your testimonies have come to the same conclusion. The scepter was not in her right hand with the lantern, therefore it must have been in her other hand that was holding the bucket. However, that's not it. Not by a long shot. What do you mean? Contrary to what one of the witnesses stated, the milk bucket was in fact at the crime scene. And you'll also notice something about this bucket. Take another look at the court illustration. Something about the bucket seems a bit odd, wouldn't you say?
Objection!
This illustration was based on eyewitness accounts, so a small discrepancy or two is conceivable.
Objection!
Actually, Inquisitor Barnum, it's highly likely that this illustration is much less accurate than you think. In fact, there is a blatant contradiction present in this illustration. Okay, yeah, it was like a rope thing. Admittedly, it does at first look possible that Miss Cantabelle was holding the scepter and the bucket at the same time. No, it doesn't, but okay. However, if you look at the real milk bucket, that possibility goes up in smoke. Here, let's have a look at the real deal. Notice the handle? That's... cannot be. Oh, but it is. This particular milk bucket has two pieces of wood on either side of the handle. If you were to try and hold both the scepter and this bucket... well, let's just say that'd be a challenge. To put it simply, there is no way anyone could hold both the bucket and scepter at once. What? That must mean clearly you have the wrong bucket.
We never lie when it comes to milk. That's the very bucket I took.
Why did you bring it to court? Whatever. Kira! Looks as it looks like the witnesses are as surprised about this as Barnum. The defendant couldn't have been able to hold the bucket and the scepter at once. Also, we have already established that she was not holding a scepter in her right hand. Therefore, the defendant, Miss Espella Cantabella, was not holding a witch's scepter at any point during the incident. Oops, I missed that. Hold on, let me watch the playback. I accidentally misclicked because I was looking away. Yep, was not holding a scepter at any point during the incident. Blah, blah, blah. Order, I said, okay, he didn't say anything important. Just what is the meaning of this? In all my days as judge of this court, I have never heard such an argument. These are but a paltry set of words, and yet they ring with such remarkable strength. Your Honor, what you just heard was logic. Logic, you say?
What is with these two? They just silenced Inquisitor Barnum with mere words.
Such foolishness. This must be some type of witchcraft. Wait, do you think...
Could they be witches?
It would seem that the concept of logic does not exist in this world.
Right, let's take this chance to knock their case down a peg or two.
I'm worried if we keep this up, we'll all be joining a spell at a one-way trip to the flames.
Objection!
Most intriguing. A knight allows his soul to speak for him during battle. You may have spoken with a sword of words. So be it. I too shall wield such a blade. What do you mean? Sir Blue Knight, there appears to be a hole in this logic of yours. Oh, do tell. A hole? According to the earlier testimony, it was believed the accused had the lantern hanging from her wrist by the handle. However, she supposedly dropped it, hence it being covered in mud. That's right. While that may be true, it does not necessarily mean the accused was therefore unable to use magic. Yes, it does. Maybe. It is merely a question of when she dropped the witch's scepter. What do you mean? What do you mean, Inquisitor Barnum? It is very simple, my lord. The accused, while first holding the lantern and the witch's scepter, cast her magic. Then she dropped both the lantern and the scepter. Ah. The witch's scepter was dropped after the spell was cast. Of course, yes, that must be it. What say you, Sir Blue Knight? That is but a taste of the knightly knowledge of the Inquisition.
Well, Sir Barnum cut through that baker's witchery like a hot knife through butter.
Exemplary! I expected nothing less from the hand of Barnum.
Ooh, to be able to shake that powerful hand someday.
Okay. Brother. That Inquisitor isn't quite what he first appeared. Yeah, sure seems that way. Just a moment ago, it seemed like he'd never even heard of logical debate, and now he's suddenly using it against us. This guy is no joke, that's for sure. Now then, most honorable witnesses, I ask that you lend us your aid at once more. Oh. I request that you all testify to the court once more. Tell us which occurred first, the dropping of the lantern or the casting of the spell. Witnesses, you may begin your testimonies. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. Well, my friends, thank you all very much for tuning in to the stream today. It's been a blast. I'll be back again sometime. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe next week. I'm not sure. Things are... my schedule's all out of whack now. It's all out of whack. Things change. Things happening. But we'll be back when I can. But for now, I'm gonna send you guys on a raid to spread some love over there. And
I'll see you guys again soon. It's been fun. It's been a blast. Yay.
this game is very cool. Very cool. I like the Inquisitor. He's pretty cool. Yeah. We'll see. Maybe I'll change my mind. Maybe I won't end up liking him. Maybe he's the witch. Yeah, sending you off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye-bye.